Leo, how are you? Great to see you. Just in time for your Leo February 2020 reading. Well, I've got a very interesting set of tarot cards here for you this month. They're actually very mystical, and so I'm going to use a couple of other decks to throw some extra messages your way. And the first is, this is an indigenous set of cards. I don't know what quite to call them, but what they do is they enliven in me an insight into what is going on with you and message from the other realm, and it will make sense to you through the thing. It's almost like the key to the reading in a sense. That is responsibility. It's a particularly beautiful card. I'm going to use some playing cards as well to give a quite an insightful look at the end of the tarot part of your reading to see what there is likely to be coming as far as these playing cards are saying, in addition to that which the tarot is giving you the advice of. And that is the Jack of Hearts. You see here the Eight of Clubs. And what else do we have? Let's take one more. This looks like it's coming out anyway. That is the Eight of Diamonds. The 8 and the 8. That's good. You go there. Now let's have a look at some tarot cards. We'll take 5, as is our normal practice, because that's all we'll use. Although I may go through the tarot cards quicker than I normally do, because the language will be quite mystical. This has come out anyway. Trial. Lovely imagery. I think you'll appreciate what I know you will. There's the Four of Flames. That indigenous, Aboriginal indigenous artwork is just gorgeous. The Son of Feathers. Good on you, Son of Feathers. It can be a bit of a handful sometimes, the Son of Feathers. And there's the Daughter of Flames. Well, how appropriate for you, I think, but I'm not going to give anything away yet. It is balanced, of course, by these other energies that are coming around here. They sort of come from different levels. There are a number of spiritual worlds, and so what I'm accessing is different spiritual levels for you in this reading, and you can put it together and it will make sense for you, I'm sure. There is, and how fitting for you, the Emperor. Well, let's have a look at all of these cards together and I'll tell you the meaning of them. All right, my beloved Leo. Now, the first message that you received, you will recall, from one of the realms of the other world, is this card of responsibility. Now, just take a moment and let the image sink in. Consider this card and sleep on it and let it work its way into your subconscious. Now, responsibility can mean many things, I suppose. As you know, you may feel that you should have responsibility to something or to someone or to a number of people. Parents are responsible for children. In fact, my children are grown up, yet I still feel responsibility for them. Or you may feel that there is a responsibility which you have, which you don't deserve to have, or that it is not right that you have, in which event you may consider that it is time to gently let that go and recalibrate your life. I'm drawn to this card for some reason. The Four of Flames. Now, what can I say about this Four of Flames? The fire of shaping. The unshaped purple fire of the earth's core touches the heavenly fire of the sun. The fires of body and mind work together, refine and strengthen one another. Forces of polarity structuring themselves in golden waves of light. And that is your sign, that of light. Now, what is the actual astrology of the card for me? Having had a look at the image, let's pull it out a little bit here. This card for me is Venus ruling the third decan of Aries, about that 10th to the 19th of April. This is the Lord of perfected work. Now, I have Venus in Aries here. Now, as you know, Venus in ordinary astrology rules both Taurus and Libra, but I have the association of Libra here. And so I see Venus traveling from Libra to the diametrically opposed side of the zodiac wheel into Aries, where, as the YouTube astrologers will tell you, Venus is in detriment. So you might think that there is something bad about that, and ordinarily there would be. Because Mars rules Aries in astrology, and Mars is fiery, masculine, rambunctious, whereas Venus is refined, gentle, about relationship, beauty, and love. And rather than there being actually a difficulty, I actually see that Venus exercises her feminine charms on the aggression of Mars, and as a result, we have some sort of opposites attract action going on. And so you may find that you are attracted to somebody that ordinarily you never would have been. Now, this doesn't just have to be romantic attraction, but you may be attracted to what they have to say, or attracted to the example that they set, or attracted to the work that they're doing. Or you might find yourself pursuing an interest before that you never had any desire to pursue. Or in an area of your work life, you might find that there is an area of responsibility or work that had no interest for you before, but you do it and you say, actually, I quite like doing this. I quite like doing this. And I think what this card is also saying to you is that there is probably something that you need to complete before moving on to other things. Before moving to other things. You might also find, incidentally, that there may be a part of you where you have an emotional desire, that is the Venus aspect of it, to go off and move in new directions, which is the Aries aspect of it. Or you might find that one part of you wants to do something, whereas the other part of you says, no, I don't want to do that. So you may have some sort of internal turmoil while you make up your mind about what it is that you want to do. Anyway, let's have a look here. That's the message that I'm getting from where the card is placed and where it is in the spread. Let's have a look at this card here, which is Trial. Trial, well, a child is born of the sun and the moon, and so it hangs, head down, the cord uncut, a mighty shaking at the roots. Evolutionary history is being looked at. Fire burns up passions and desire. Water cleanses and heals. Water, see, I have a great association with Neptune here, the watery planet of Neptune. Also the planet of change, of moving into new directions, being unconventional. Feelings without echo. Answers arise for you out of the very depths of your being. Surrendering. They're the type of concepts, I think, which this artwork is throwing up for me. What else does it say to me for you? Let's have a look here. Yeah, very much an association with Venus as well. Venus here, Venus, Neptune, the spirit of the mighty waters, that is this card here. It is about new perspectives that you are coming to get, which may be as a result of some sort of a trial that you have undertaken, or some sort of Oh, effort that you've had to endure and that you've placed into something. I think there's also here, look, I personally think that there is for you the opportunity for you to redeem yourself in a situation if it has turned sour, because you now have the opportunity to put things right, to bring light into darkness, as it were. And I think that what this card is doing, where it is placed in this top corner here, is that it implies, because of the watery Neptune, the watery nature of Neptune, that your emotions are like water and should flow. Now, you could have redemption or repair of a situation that is related to an emotional event or any transgressions that you might have made or that have occurred. I think that there is also very much here, it is being told to me that it is now time for you to lose any emotional ties to guilt from past events. Freedom from guilt or blame is what I am having here. Life moves on, life moves on. It could also be, I think here, the need for you to give up something lesser for something greater. Almost like an investment, I suppose, an investment of time or of emotional investment to receive something back that's greater. I think that you will find yourself, I'd have this thought in mind, really, and it is, I value breaking ineffective old patterns. I trust and have deep faith in the essence of who I am. I surrender to the higher path and to God's will. I think you could well be putting yourself through something in order to come out the other side changed, and that might be studying for a degree at college, or it could be a diet, or it could be a resume blitz, or exercise, putting yourself through something to come out better at the other end of it, I think. It could also mean spending time to do something in order to bring back balance into things, so that can be like finances, accounts, expenses and things like that. Tidying up to bring things back into balance. Where are we going to go? Oh, I think we're going to go here. She looks very interesting to me, this daughter of flames. Yeah, this daughter of flames. Look, I think that she really does have a lot of you in her in this month. I think also that other people who may be around you or of interest to you this month include Virgo or Cancer as well. The daughter of the shining flame is what I call her. Well, and the rose of the palace of fire. Now, the court cards, of course, can be either gender, and this represents I'll use the feminine for the obvious reason. This card to me says, where it's placed and with what's coming through, is that she's a young woman who's very energetic, individualistic, brilliant and daring and expressive in love or in anger. She's also very enthusiastic about things, I think. I think what this is it represents a person who is confident, daring, exciting, nonconformist, freedom-loving, ambitious. People love the character and energy of the person like this, and I think that this is what's going to be occurring with you this month, that you're going to find yourself, people are going to be very attracted to you during this period. But she can be, now I'd never suggest that this would be the case with you, but she can be very vengeful, temperamental, unruly, and cruel sometimes. I think what this card also means is, where it's placed, that there is the conquering of old fears and patterns of thought. You've brought them to the surface and conquered them. Although you have, I have to say, really, learnt things the hard way, haven't you? Really learnt things the hard way. Yeah. I'd have this thought, which is to say that my greatest strength is what? What is your greatest strength? And also this, that as I accept my fear, it is transformed into love. Let's have a look at this sun who's down here. Hello, young man. I'm really getting Aquarius and Capricorn around this person here. The son of the chariots of the winds is what I call him. He's the airy part of air. It's a picture of the mind, really, that I'm getting that, almost like 2/3 Aquarius, 1/3 Capricorn is almost what I'm getting here. Lots of air, lots of activity, but no plans. This is probably someone that you know, I think, where there is a young man, although it could be a woman, who's quite intellectual in that, he doesn't have to be an academic, but someone who's smart, full of ideas and plans, very clever, but a bit unstable, and someone who can be elusive, can be impressionable, and he can also, I think, be, well, I'll say it, he actually can be quite domineering. When the creative process works, it works well. But the thing is that not a lot of the ideas of this person, is what I'm getting, are actually grounded in anything. It's almost as if they kind of suck the reality or the facts out of things in order to come up with their, well, what you might consider to be schemes or harebrained screams. It's a person who's smart with a highly developed intellect, loving thinking, questioning, philosophizing, good at creating ideas quickly, but moves on without developing them. His intellect, I think, can be draining to those who can't keep up with him. He's a person, I think, who's actually independent, really very private. I won't say secretive, but very private, but difficult to get to know. And sometimes may lack or seem to lack emotional warmth and empathy. I think what this refers to you is that, the reference that I'm getting to you here is that there may be a need for you to slow down and analyze your thoughts to see if anything that you come up with can actually put to practical use. That's really the message that's coming through. Here's the Emperor. What a great card this is, the Emperor. Now, this Emperor I call the son of the morning, the chief among the mighty. He's a person that represents building, doing, pioneering, being a visionary. The astrology of it for me is Mars ruling Aries with the Sun, your planet, exalted. So I think this is particularly good for you this month. I think that what's going to happen is that you are going to be primarily concerned with power and control over other people, or perhaps even over yourself, I think you'll be seen as being a natural leader and organizer. You'll have willpower and judgment, which you'll be able to profitably bring to bear on things, and this is a result of your life experience and how you've come to be where you are today. You've learnt from mistakes and you've learnt from what's worked. I think what this is also saying is that the things that you turn your mind to and where you direct your efforts to this month are going to be successful. But this is going to be as a result of discipline and application. I think you'll be, interestingly, quite a rational thinker. Now, status is going to be very important to you during this month. I feel that you're going to have a great desire for status and that other people recognize your status. And so is material security and stability. And the interesting thing is that I think that people will see you as being a leader and will be holding you in high regard. I think you'll be one of those people who walks into a room and everybody turns around to look at them. I think that's what's going to be going on. Now, this Emperor can be volatile and fiery, and not active, not passive, rather. Well, I'm not suggesting that you should be passive at all. I'm thinking that you should be active, and well, I suppose it's difficult not to be volatile and angry sometimes if people don't get along to do things. Now, I'd examine yourself critically, especially in regard to your relations with people that you work with. That is, people who might report to you, or people that that you report to in any work environment or community organization or anything like that. Just check out that the relationships there are all in good condition. I think that there's an interest in discipline here. Now, look, I don't mean any offense by this, but the interest in discipline could also be in relation to fantasies that you might have or play out. And fantasies, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Dreams are free, aren't they? But I see that as being something which is coming up here. I'd have this thought in mind, and that is, I enjoy initiating projects. I value and honor my leadership ability. I am a responsible person. This guy's like a rock, and I think that is how you'll be perceived during this period. Well, let's have a look at the playing cards and see what they have to say. What am I getting from them? This is again from another realm. And let's have a look first at this Jack of Hearts, shall we? Hello, Jack. Okay, what I'm getting up from this is that this is usually a young male, but it could be a young female, or it could be a friend or a family member, or a love interest. Because the Jacks are kind of low down in the court hierarchy, they can be young, fresh. It can relate to invitations or messages or gifts that you might be going to get. Now, this can, I don't know whether you're interested in this, but this can, and it's to do with emotions, but it can talk about the commencement of a new relationship, if you are interested in the commencement of new relationships. It can represent also an admirer, someone who is your age, or someone who is maybe a little bit younger than you. So that is the message that's coming through there. And then we have this one. Now, this is the 8 of clubs, right? Now, the number 8 really represents power, balance, harmony. It can also represent renovation. It can also represent a decision that you're making in relation to something, or a decision which has been made that affects you. Now, it can also refer to something of a fixed mind, where, you can be kind of stubborn or opinionated about things. When this comes up, although I'm not concerned about it because I see where it's placed between that Jack and this 8 of diamonds on the other side. So he's got a couple of red cards on either side of it, so it's good. But it can sometimes talk about problems in relationships, which can be personal or business, or in the workplace. There can be problems that come up. And what I'd also say with this is that don't let desire for money or success turn into jealousy or greed. And it's time, I think it's saying for you to maybe step back and see what you can do to bring about balance and harmony in a situation. Then we come to the 8 of diamonds. I make the same comment with the number 8. The diamond here this is a particularly good card to do with, money in a nutshell. And what I see here is It actually often comes up where entrepreneurs or people are starting new businesses, or they're bringing up new ideas in relation to businesses. It's a card of money, of handling money, of being good with money. Now, far be it from me to say that you like to spend money. Far be it from me to say that you like to spend money. But I think that this is a period where you're going to be quite good with money, where you'll be balancing outflows with inflows and things like that. It can also suggest unexpected money coming your way, or an unexpected way of you making a financial gain. It is saying, though, that this is a time for you to budget and perhaps start saving some money for a rainy day, because the problem is one day it always does rain. It's also saying to me that there is material success on the horizon for you, and this is usually associated with good luck and fortune in business. It can sometimes refer to a change of job, and what it can also do is, and I'm looking at it here, next to this jack, is that it can sometimes refer, it can refer to travel later in life, but here next to this jack, which is young and it's to do with hearts, it can sometimes point to relationship or even marriage later in life. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic month for you, and that's great because you deserve it. And I have to say, you were fantastic during that reading. All that remains for me to say is this, and remember it always, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, bye for now.